By early 1967, San Francisco was widely recognized as the geographic and spiritual center of the emerging counterculture in the United States. As news of the hippies, free love, and the mind-expanding potential of LSD, acid, continued to attract and alarm people throughout the nation, music fans were also being introduced to the modern psychedelic rock sounds that were emanating out of the Bay Area. Published in the Village Voice in March 1967, Richard Goldstein's feature, The Flourishing Underground, introduced rock fans on the East Coast, especially those in and around New York City, to the many bands, venues, and countercultural ideals that formed the musical scene in San Francisco. In particular, Goldstein considers 4 groups from San Francisco: Jefferson Airplane, Quicksilver Messenger Service, Big Brother and the Holding Company, and the Grateful Dead. Describing San Francisco as the Liverpool of the West, Goldstein proclaims that, just as the Beatles and other bands associated with the British invasion, including those not from Liverpool, had transformed popular music in 1964, the music currently being made in the Bay Area is the most potentially vital in the pop world. The value and vitality of the scene are even more remarkable, he suggests, given that most of the bands had yet to release any recordings. Indeed, when Goldstein's article appeared in March 1967, the only commercial albums by a group identified with the San Francisco scene were the first 2 releases of Jefferson Airplane. Jefferson Airplane Takes Off, released in December 1966, and Surrealistic Pillow, released in February 1967. Ultimately, the paucity of recordings did not matter, for, as Goldstein and other contemporary critics emphasized, the musical, cultural, and spiritual qualities ascribed to the San Francisco scene could only truly be experienced live. In a quote reproduced in Goldstein's article, Ralph J. Gleason, the noted jazz critic and early champion of the scene, suggested that the important thing about San Francisco rock and roll is that the bands here all sing and play live, and not for recordings. You get a different sound at a dance. It's harder and more direct. The musicians also stressed the importance of performing live. Less than a year after moving to the city to join Big Brother and the Holding Company, singer Janis Joplin proclaimed that San Francisco is live. Recording in a studio, Joplin explained, is a completely different trip. No one makes a record like they sound live. For Goldstein, no band better represented both the spirit of the San Francisco scene and the ideals associated with live performance than the Grateful Dead. In his opinion, there is nothing convoluted in the lyrics, just rock and roll lingua franca. Not a trace of preciousness in the music, just raunchy, funky chords. Echoing Gleason, Goldstein notes that the Dead's music hits hard and stays hard like early Rolling Stones, but distilled and concentrated. Describing the band's live performances, he wrote that the Grateful Dead sound like live thunder.